Dear students, welcome to our class on micrometeorology of crops. Micrometeorology of crop, solar radiation 2. Solar radiation 2. In this class, I request all my beloved students to write 4 important points. These 4 important points and light effect on crops that we study in this class. These 4 points first I read and repeat also till you write correctly. So these 4 points would appear in your JRF, SRF and NET exams also. That's why. Okay, please write point number 1. Leaf strongly absorbs 0.75 microns. 0.75 microns. Leaf strongly absorbs 0.75 microns. 2. Leaf weakly absorbs 0.75 to 2.1 microns. 0.75 to 2.1 microns. Third point, more than 2.1 microns. More than 2.1 microns. Solar radiation flux density. Please write solar radiation flux density and the flux from the atmosphere. These two are different. The flux from the atmosphere. Again I repeat, more than 2.1 microns. Solar radiation flux density and the flux from the atmosphere are both low. Here with reference to leaf, very important point, please write. Leaf strongly absorbs more than 2.1 microns. Leaf strongly absorbs 0.75 microns. First point and third point are same. However, here we have mentioned 2 points, two terms: solar flux, okay, density, otherwise solar radiation flux density, and the flux from the atmosphere. Okay, these two are low. However, leaves strongly absorb. The fourth and last point for today's class, from the examination point of view, JRF, SRF, NET. Now please write, both do not. What both? Solar radiation flux density and the flux from the atmosphere. Both. Okay, these two. Then otherwise both do not cause much radiative heating. Both do not cause much radiative heating, which would be the cause or which would be the case in 0.25 to 1.5 microns, which would be the case in 0.25 to 1.5 micron. These 4 points please write. If at all when I am explaining I may rub it, but again you can verify from the first what you have written. Now I explain to you first point. Okay, what is the first point? Leaf strongly absorbs 0.7 microns. See, leaf strongly absorbs solar radiation at 0.7 microns. Okay, this is the longest effective. This is the longest effective wavelength for photosynthesis of higher plant. For photosynthesis of higher plant. This is what. Now the second point is concerned. Leaf weakly absorbs between 0.75 to 2.1 microns. Now here, between 0.75 and 2.1 microns, the leaf absorbs solar radiation weakly. Thereby, what is the advantage for the leaf? Say for example, I have taken a leaf here. Okay, in my right hand I am holding a leaf, a twig. Now, leaf strongly absorbs 0.7 microns. But from 0.75 to 2.1 microns, weakly, it absorbs weakly. That's why it is able to dissipate the heat which it is experiencing. So, in my earlier classes I told, heat dissipation by crop plants, okay, solar radiation crop plant, leaf dissipation by crop plants or leaves is by few ways of them. Number one is the first dissipating. So, first dissipating is by weakly absorbing between 0.75 to 2.1 microns. That's one. Next one is the stomatal opening, that is the transpiration. Of course, so many other factors I have discussed in the earlier classes. So, okay, leaf, okay, weakly absorbs between 0.75 to 2.1. This is for what? For dissipating the heat load. Heat load, it cannot move like human beings, okay, plant. So, dissipating the heat load. Now, the third point is at wavelength greater than 2.1 microns. At wavelengths greater than 2.1 microns, the leaf strongly absorbs. More than 2.1 microns, leaf strongly absorbs. But however, the problem is the solar radiation flux density and the flux from the atmosphere are low here in this region. So, they can maintain the required heat or temperature, okay, for the exchange of gases, translocation of the photosynthesis, whatnot, all the physiological processes. Okay, this is how the plants respond to solar radiation. Now, another important thing is the fourth point what I wrote here. These two, solar radiation flux density and the flux from the atmosphere, okay, will not cause radiative heating. Will not cause radiative heating. What is the meaning of a radiative heating? The plant temperature, heating, plant's temperature in the leaf differs a lot from the stem. It differs a lot from the leaf tip to the leaf base, from one leaf to other leaf. Okay, so this is the basic characteristic of temperature as far as crop plants are concerned. So, the importance of high absorptivity of the leaf in the long wave radiation is due to the correlation between emissivity and absorptivity. Why? More than 0.21 onwards, it absorbs because there is a correlation between the emissivity and absorptivity, which is explained by Kirchhoff's law. I would be discussing this same thing in the next class, and earlier also Kirchhoff's law I told. Okay, now here at a temperature of 293 degrees, this is very interesting point, please note. At a temperature of 293 degrees Kelvin, 293 degrees Kelvin, that is 20 degrees centigrade, 293 degrees Kelvin, 20 degrees centigrade, the leaf will have a peak emissivity. The leaf, okay, this is the leaf, you are seeing, no? The leaf will have a peak emissivity at 9.89 microns. At 9.89 microns, which is the long wave window of atmosphere, So, that's why, what is the practical application of this word? At 293 degrees Kelvin, that is 20 degrees centigrade, for most of the tropical crops, we say optimum temperature for growth and development of the crop, 20 degrees centigrade. This is the reason, okay? It strongly, okay, it of course, okay, will have a peak emissivity. Here it has got a very peak high emissivity. This is the reason for the optimum temperature for most of the tropical crops. We call it as even for temperate crops also, here and there, okay, 20 degrees. This is the reason. Now, on a clear sunny day, please wrote down and very interesting point, on a clear sunny day, 0.4 to 0.7 microns, which would be falling under the light part of the spectrum, VIBZYOR. Okay, this particular the radiation will be used in the photosynthesis, but okay, will also cause the leaf temperature to rise to some extent. Now, another important thing is, as far as light and growth is concerned, after one or two points I would like to discuss with you. The long wave radiant flux. Please note that the long wave radiant flux from the leaf will increase with temperature. The long wave radiant flux, okay, from the leaf, long wave radiant flux from the leaf after absorption, okay, long wave radiant flux, okay, will be coming from the leaf, okay, it would be approximately 30% from 283 degrees Kelvin. 283 degrees Kelvin is equal to 10 degrees centigrade. 293 is equal to 293 degrees Kelvin is equal to 20 degrees centigrade. So, 30% approximately from there to 303 degrees Kelvin, that is 30 degrees centigrade. Again, I repeat it. The long wave radiant flux from the leaf will increase with temperature from 283 degrees Kelvin or 10 degrees centigrade, 293 degrees Kelvin or 20 degrees centigrade, 303 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees centigrade. What will happen? The long wave radiant flux from the leaf will increase. This is an important point, and will be emitted from the leaf to the atmosphere, thereby dissipating a large portion of the heating effect. So when the air temperature goes on increasing from 30, okay, from 20 to 30 and there onwards, okay, the emissivity, okay, this will help the crop or plant or leaves to escape from the heating. Now, though the emitted long wave flux from the leaf is large, the emitted long wave flux from the leaf is large with a typical value of 390 watts per meter square at 293 degrees Kelvin. That is 20 degrees centigrade. Please note, in the SRF or even in the interview, when you go for interviews, this will be asked. Please understand this point. The emitted long wave flux from the leaf is large with a typical value of 390 watts per meter square, 390 watts per meter square at 23 degrees centigrade, 20 degrees, not 23, 20 degrees centigrade. In other words, okay, 293 degrees Kelvin, of course, indicating the importance of the long wave flux in reducing the energy load and therefore the heating effect on the leaf. Heating effect on the leaf. Whenever temperature goes on increasing from 10 degrees centigrade to 20 degrees centigrade, 20 degrees centigrade to 30 degrees centigrade, leaf goes on emitting, thereby dissipating the heating load. So this is what I would like to discuss with you. Last 1 minute, light and growth. Of course, even though I continue in the next class, please note very, very important points that the influence of light on plants, the influence of light on the plant, light means 0.4 to 0.7 microns, is complex. It is a complex. It drives the photochemistry of the plant and also affects the shape and size of the plant. If this is the shape and size of the plant is influenced by the light 0.4 to 0.7 microns, and the plants can change their strategy of assimilate utilization in response to changes in the amount of light they receive, as well as changing their rates of photosynthesis. So, okay, what is the meaning of it? Plants can change their strategy of assimilate utilization depending upon the light they receive. Of course, light will not be falling same on the crop plant. Why? This line will give you the quality, okay, the quality of light. In particular, the ratio of red to far red. The ratio between red to far red, 660, okay, microns and 730 microns. Okay, this is what we call as the red part and far red part. The ratio of these two is very important with reference to light quality. Okay, it affects the growth and development of the plant. The ratio, this bit is also possible. The ratio between the red to far red, 660 microns, 730 microns. The ratio of these two will determine the rate of photosynthesis by plants. In other words, growth and development. The ratio of red to far red light in the natural environment can be of importance, so that the light play an important role with reference to growth and development. I will continue in the next class the basic laws, Kirchhoff's law, otherwise with reference to micrometeorology and crop plants. Thank you very much.